Hello, my beautiful ducklings, it's your friendly Gruppeteer, and I'm back again with another Steven Universe vlog. And it's been a while since I said that, so it's nice to say it again. And it's even nicer to say that this week is a new Steven bomb. That's Steven's birthday storyline is going on all this week, just like any other Steven bomb does. And it's nice to have Steven Universe back after so many, such a long hiatus, which, in retrospect, it wasn't too long, but I haven't seen the show since last year. Whoop! Whoop! I'm good at jokes. Yeah. Bet you missed these vlogs, didn't you? Yeah, alright. So, today's episode. Today's episode is The Answer. In this episode, I don't know why you're watching my vlog if you don't already know what happened. I mean, you already know what happened and you're here to hear me talk about how amazing it is. And I will, but I'll be nice. For those who haven't seen it yet and want to just see me ramble on for like a billion years because of how amazing it is. In this episode, as we've heard in Jailbreak, Garnet wanted to wait until her birthday until Steven's birthday to tell him that she was a fusion. However, since he did find out in that same episode, it seems like the surprise is ruined. So instead, she decides to tell Steven the story of how Ruby and Sapphire first met. And if that doesn't get you excited to watch this episode, you really don't like the show, do you? Because this episode is it's pretty good. It's pretty good. As good as it get. So we find out that Sapphire worked for the okay, it's a little foggy what Sapphire exactly works for. Oops, sorry. It's a little foggy what Sapphire works for. I think it's an anti-rebellion gem colony. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, that's probably what it was. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's probably pretty clear when I go rewatch the episode, but no, I've only seen it once. So yeah, she works for this anti-rebellion gem thing from Homeworld, and since Sapphire has future vision, she is accompanied by 3 rubies who are kind of like pearls in the way that they're meant to protect a certain gem, in this case Sapphire. She's accompanied by 3 rubies to go to the Blue Diamond and tell her the fate of the the fight, the independence, and how how the entire battle and conflict is going to work out. And in her future, she sees that Rose Quartz attacks the floating sky base sort of thing, midair stadium from Smash Bros. For those who get it, wants to attack the midair base with Rose's Pearl, who's the Pearl we all know, and they're gonna they're gonna kill Ruby. They're gonna kill 2 rubies, and they're gonna destroy Sapphire, but she'll regenerate back on Homeworld. And just be ready for that, because it's gonna happen. And while we think that is what's gonna happen, it turns out that one of the ruby that we know turns into Sapphire when Rose and Pearl do. This is the kind of all over the place synopsis. Anyway, no. So the ruby that we know, let's just call her Ruby because it's Ruby, obviously. So Ruby takes Sapphire out of the way of being destroyed by Pearl, and they fall. Well, they don't fall to Earth, but when Pearl and Rose retreat, they're both looked down upon by all the other gems because they're not 2 gems of the same cut. I guess they're not 2 gems of the same type, rather. Only gems of the same type are supposed to fuse together. And when they do, it's revealed in this episode, they don't make some new creation, they just make a larger version of what the gem looked like originally before it fused. So, a perfect example is in this episode. 3 tiny little rubies all fused together, and they just make one big ruby. It's not, any special thing. But no, because Ruby and Sapphire, when pushed out of the way, turned into this little cotton candy prototype Garnet sort of thing. Which, is looked down upon by the good people of the, anti-gem rebellion. They're shunning. They say that they're going to have to destroy Sapphire, but just in time, Ruby plunges them down to Earth. They fall off the skybase. They land on Earth, as we learn later in the episode, and they're just trying to survive. They've never fused with anybody. No one's ever fused with someone who isn't their own type before, or at least, not in the presence of such a royal group of people. So they're definitely not welcome in the gem world. They're kind of outlaws, kind of rebels now. I get it, because they joined the rebels. That Rebecca Sugar, you get it. I'm gonna get a sticker. There's a sticker for you. Put a sticker on my Rebecca Sugar sticker chart, which exists. Yep. So anyway, they try to survive on Earth, and they also sort of start to grow some chemistry between each other. Romance starts to blossom, and what I do love about this episode is that they don't like straight up go for like, you know, they spend a few minutes together and then start kissing. I don't think they kissed once in this episode, or even like do anything too romantic outside of holding hands and dancing, which is nice to see. You know, I don't want to, like, of course, you know, everybody likes a good, you know, romantic side plot, but just like the 5 seconds in and already kissing and stuff, I don't think it would work as well as. Well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that later on my thoughts for the episode. So yeah, they try to survive, and they sing a beautiful song, by the way. I don't know who the voice actors are for Ruby and Sapphire, and while I am a little on Sapphire's voice, I do understand it's supposed to be, you know, deadbeat and, you know, kind of monotone, like, I can see the future and stuff, whatever, like Dr. Manhattan. It's, you know, she does a good job, of course. I just, you know, it's not really there for me. Ruby's voice actor, by the way, is really, really good. I love her. Even her singing voice is very good, and just her voice acting voice is a lot of fun. It's just a great voice. But they sing a song together, and they have a little, you know, they have a little nice, I know you, I walked with you once upon a dream, sort of dance number from Sleeping Beauty. And, they try to fuse together again to create Cotton Candy Garnet, and when they do, they trip and fall and roll down a hill and all that stuff, and they are discovered by Pearl, accompanied by Rose Quartz, who welcome them with open arms to the rebellion as, you know, a new species, I guess, of, you know, gems, or a new millennium of fusion, if you will. And yeah, really good episode. Really. What do you expect? When you come on the video, someone's been doing the show as long as I have. You come on the video, expect me to talk bad about this episode? I mean, I know I trashed Alone Together, but no, this episode's amazing. I can't even, like, I don't know if you need me to tell you how amazing this episode is. If you really like the show, you obviously understand. You know, you've been wanting this. You don't even know if you've been wanting this forever, but you see it and you're like, I wanted to know that. I don't know how. I just wanted to know it. I mean, I could have. Like, I know that they wouldn't go this route, you know, Rebecca Sugar, you know, she definitely has a goal in mind when she makes the show, but if they went the entire series without saying how Ruby and Sapphire met, they just said, you know, they're two gems that like to fuse together, it would kind of be like, oh, whatever, you know, it'll be cool to know, but I could live without it, I guess. I mean, I might be alone on that, but I could live without it, but and I love when Steven Universe does this. They come out of nowhere with something that I didn't know I wanted to see, but now I can't imagine watching the show without it. It's just, it's mind-boggling. So everybody's going to be saying this. I'm not going to really be able to offer anything new that nobody else has said before. My glasses are acting up in my hair. But it's just an amazing episode. Even if you don't like the show, you can watch it. You can be there for the chemistry, the amazing chemistry within like 11, give or take, maybe 10 and a half minutes because of the Garnet scenes with Steven. And like, even outside of the story standpoint, it's not too much deeply rooted in the lore of Steven Universe. I mean, there are some scenes that are significant. Like, you can see Lapis Luigi in one of the scenes, and, you know, there's some references to past episodes. But it's not something you'd walk in. You could show it to someone who hasn't seen the show before, and they could understand how amazing of an episode it is. It's like I Remember You. It's kind of like I Remember You. But it's just the chemistry between Ruby and Sapphire that they set up within these 10 minutes. This character that we're introduced to as one is a tool for one is a tool pretty much for Blue Diamond. You know, she only uses her really to see into the future. Sapphire and Blue Diamond don't even show concern when, you know, Sapphire says she's going to be poofed. And Ruby, you know, just like a Pearl, or, you know, our Pearl, as we know, is just, you know, a normal maintenance, you know, standard issue kind of. I don't know why my computer keeps dying out. I'm sorry. Normal issue, you know, kind of normal maintenance thing they'd issue to anybody. And, you know, there's nothing, you know, individually, like, you know, there's nothing individually, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I probably look like a dangus right now. Like, special. Yeah, why did it take me so long to think of that word? Anyway, special. There's nothing, like, you know, incredibly special about them. When you first meet them, they're all practically the same personality. You know, they all fuse together. They just have one goal, to protect someone. And the way they just blossom these, and it doesn't even feel forced. I don't know how they do it. I can't even, like, go into deep analysis about how they, like, I mean, I probably could given, like, more time than I usually do, but I do watch these right after the episode airs, even if this might be a little bit late today. I apologize for that. Actually, just a heads up now before I keep going. Probably all the vlogs this week will be a day late, except for Fridays. Just scheduling issues, I'm afraid. But, you know, back to the story. I don't know how they do it. I could probably go into some deep analysis about it, you know, if I watched it more. But just, you know, first impressions is the way they do it. It's so, like, it just feels natural. There are times in this episode where you're like, is this still 11 minutes? Is this still going? It's like the first 8 minutes of Up, not as emotional, but, you know, a bit more story driven and, like, intense. The first 8 minutes of Up, like the way that they, you know, do the romance thing, kind of just stretch into, you know, a few minutes more. It's really, really good. And, like, you can tell they went out of their way in this episode. This episode, I'd say, besides Garnet's Universe, is definitely the most visually striking of any of them. The scenery they use, like, I wouldn't say a different art style, but they, like, if you watch it, you know what I mean. They like, kind of set up, like, the grassy hills, the sunlight reflecting on things, the water falling. They just kind of set it up in a different way. They also, as many people saw in the promo trailers, and yes, I'll confirm it is true, there is an all-pink rose quartz and an all-white pearl and an all-red ruby and an all-blue sapphire. But that's only when they're on, like, the mid-air stadium sort of thing. I think it's just sort of like the lighting or some artistic choice. But when they get to Earth, they're just normal colors again. They're only one solid color when they're on the mid-air stadium sort of thing, just to clear up any confusion people were having when they saw the previews. But again, that's like a really, I wouldn't say it's anything new or groundbreaking. People have been doing it for ages, but it's, you know, it's very distinct for Steven Universe, which, while I wouldn't say is a safe show with its, you know, artistic stylings, definitely hasn't, you know, plunged into anything like this. They use really interesting use of silhouette characters, when they're on the Homeworld base thingy. I'm just gonna call it the Mid-Air Stadium, because it's pretty much what it is. So when they're on the Mid-Air Stadium, they use a really interesting use of silhouettes. They have the silhouettes of the crystal or the gem characters, but you can see their gems are outlined or, like, glowing or something. It's really, really interesting. It's a really, really it's just amazing to look at. It's just a beautiful looking episode. It looks a lot, like I said before, kind of like that Sleeping Beauty scene. It looks a lot like not exactly cell animated, but more of a storybook sort of feel. A lot more just wholesome. You can just tell there was a lot of effort put into this one. And if you know, if this is the most effort that you're going to put into children's programming, then I'm very happy that, you know, we live in the block and the era of children's programming that we do now. It's amazing what these people do just to, you know, get a story across. And the story they get across is just amazing. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to say it. Just a really, really, really good episode. And yes, to close off the vlog, I will say that it is easily the best episode, in my opinion, of the show so far. So if this is how we're going to open up Steven's birthday week, then I think Steven isn't the only one in for presents. Hey, because we're going to get new episodes, not anything gross like it may have sounded. That does sound weird, doesn't it? Well, I mean, really, I just love this episode. I can't state it enough. I'm going to go back, watch this vlog. It's going to be like 15 minutes of me babbling about, you know, probably something incongruent, but it's just an amazing episode, amazing chemistry, outstanding use of visuals. I love the song. I love the characters. I love, you know, just the growth, the investment you have within these 11 minutes. It's just easily the best episode of the show yet. And I just can't wait to see what they have else in store. And with that said, I will see you guys later. See you tomorrow probably for Steven's birthday episode. And like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. What do you think I am, Joe Pesci walking around now? Do whatever you want. Go watch the episode for yourself. It's really good. Yeah. Chicka chicka.